What's up? Welcome to Play and Trade TV. We're coming to you live in all the Play and Trade stores across the country and live on the net at pnttv.com. My name is Mark. And Chris, how are you, man?
My man, Mark. What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much, man.
Dude, cannot wait to talk about this game because...
Of course.
Well, I'm a big Rockstar fan, but...
You are.
I always have two games that I look forward to during a year. Not three, just two. And both of them have come out. Well, they're coming out. Portal 2 was one. And a month later, we get Noire. Yep. And I can't wait.
Yeah, well, coming up on the show, coming up on the show this week, as Chris said, we will be previewing Rockstar's Noire. I get out to my local Play and Trade to see what games people regret buying before trying. And later on in the show, we answer a question from you, our viewers. Well, Chris, let's jump into it, man.
Yes, let's do it.
Noire is coming to us from Rockstar. It's being developed by Team Bondi in conjunction with Rockstar. It'll be in all the Play and Trade stores on May 17th. And there is no one who is more excited about this game than you, Chris.
I defy anybody to say they're more excited than I am to play this game because it's not going to happen. Dude, I've been waiting for this game. I mean, didn't they originally say they were going to have this game out in like 2007? Or maybe they
it's been a while, and actually was originally going to be a PS3 exclusive.
It was.
Yeah.
That's right. It was. And we all know the problems they're having. So, but it is going to be multi-platform now, which I'm very excited about. But it's just everything leading up to this game has just everything I read about it just makes me want to play it more. Just the setting alone. When I first heard that Rockstar was doing a game set in the 40s or 50s and it's going to be detective style, right there I was hooked. I didn't need to see anything.
No.
And then you start hearing about all this stuff that they're doing with the game. I just cannot wait to play this game because one of my favorites is Heavy Rain.
Yep.
You know, and even though the game wasn't perfect, there were some things in that game that I wanted them to fix, and I wanted to come out with a sequel for that game, and it doesn't seem like they're going to. This is almost like my sequel for Heavy Rain.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know they've perfectly recreated 1947 LA.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you play as Cole Phelps, a cop who kind of rises up through the ranks. And that's the one thing you just kind of hit on, like how both you and I like Heavy Rain, is Rockstar is known, obviously, for the Grand Theft Auto series. And those games have always been great. And they tried with Grand Theft Auto 4 to kind of put, I guess, a serious tone on it, if you want to say. But in the end, the sandbox world that they created, your character just did so many things that are so over the top that it still kind of took away from it, right? But with Red Dead Redemption and the character of John Marsden, like, they created a character that made me not want to go and do some of those silly, crazy things, which really, in the end, there wasn't too many over the top things you could do in Red Dead. And going into LA Noire, the mature, dark tone of this game from the trailers and the gameplay that we've seen looks second to none. Like,
oh my god,
you know what I mean?
The facial animations and expressions they're game changing. I think it's almost like, what other game has a voiceover? Like, just take another Rockstar game. Just take Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yep. The
guy who voiced Nico doesn't resemble the guy who does the voice.
No.
You know what I mean? So this is like really outside of sports games, you don't really see an actor who's voicing the guy and his facial expression at the same time.
Right.
But this was like, when you're watching the preview, you're like, dude, I know that guy. Like, that's the guy who was gorging himself to death in Lord of the Rings when the Hobbit was singing to him.
Exactly, yeah, man.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Or even the guy from Heroes, which I don't remember his name because that show started going downhill after the first season. But it's just so cool that they actually took the voice actor and put his actual face into the game. And it's insane. Like their mouths aren't just like moving up and down. They're actually, you feel like you're watching a movie. Like, they're transcending from video games into movies, which I think it was even entered into like the Tribeca Film Festival or something.
It was,
yeah.
It said that they actually showed, a whole clip from it.
Ridiculous.
And the company, it's called Depth Analysis, and they created this process called Motion Scan. And there's actually, if you go to the LA Noire website, there's a nice trailer, and they kind of show you how the whole thing works. And one of the biggest mechanics of this game is the interrogations, and the facial animations play into that because you have to be able to tell whether people are telling the truth or lying. And that progresses the questions that you can ask them throughout your interrogation. And I'm thinking, prior to this, any other game that would attempt to do this, they probably would have to do it with almost like a scale or something, on the side of the screen that says, that goes red or green, that says, oh, he's lying. Do you think he's lying? He's telling the truth. Where in this game, the way that they've captured the actors' expressions, that's a mechanic within itself. And it's very ambitious. Like, it's crazy ambitious that they're trying to do it. But you know what? From watching the videos, I think they pulled it off, man.
I think so. And it makes you think, like, is this game for everybody? You know, I mean, is this not the game that, you know, because some people just like to fly through games. You are guilty of that,
Yep,
my friend. Which I was wondering about that. Like, are you going to be able to play this game? Because you have to take your time.
Oh, well, dude, I got through Red Dead. No problems. I took my time getting through that. I mean,
but this is with crime scenes, man. Like, for me, like, this game will take me forever to play because I'm going to look into every single corner of a crime scene to find whatever I can. And I mean, you're going to like it. I
mentioned, man, that's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is how much does the actual crime scene investigation play into it? Like the CSI games that are out there, even Heavy Rain was even kind of guilty of that, where you're actually going through the crime scene, checking everything out. To me, that gets a little old fast. So as long as they can balance that nice and not make that be a huge or at least a long, segment of the game, I don't think it'll be so bad. But I think with the overall story and the way that their games have progressed in terms of character creation, I mean, John Marsden to me from Red Dead Redemption is one of the most memorable characters in video games to date.
It's one of those characters you're connected to.
And from what I've seen of Cole Phelps in LA Noire, he may be that next character to carry through that. I will never forget Cole Phelps. And I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case, man, because this game really has the potential to do that. It seems so ambitious. So, but then I also wonder how many fans of Rockstar are going to go into this looking for, like I said, that was in the Grand Theft Auto, the silliness, over the top, hit grandma with a bicycle type stuff or throw a trash can at her. That's not what this game is about.
You can't do that. No. You cannot do that. Nope. And that's kind of what I was getting at. How are they gonna? People are gonna do that. So will their experience be totally void? Basically, if they want to do that, if they want to get into that game and do the Grand Theft Auto, run over everything, are they basically not going to be able to play this game?
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean,
like I said, what they did with Red Dead Redemption was, you could play that game as John Marsden and be quote unquote good or bad.
Yeah.
But they created the character so well in John Marsden that you didn't want to play the game bad because you knew John Marsden was a stand-up guy, a manly man, but you know what? In the end, he did what's right. So it just didn't fit into his character to do that. And from what I've seen so far, LA Noire.
But there's people that don't care.
I know, man. I know, but we'll see.
Let's do it. I cannot freaking wait. And even the partner aspect of the game, you have 5 levels of like departments that you go through basically. And on each level they give you a different partner. And from what I'm hearing, like you rely on your partner on a lot of like they kind of tell you, I don't know if some of them are crooked or not. I hope that would be cool. That'd be kind of another cool aspect if you get a different partner when you go up to the let's see, traffic detective. I just picked one at random. Is that guy kind of like crooked? And you have to not only solve the crime, but are you listening to him and he's telling you to do something that you're not sure you should do because he's a crooked cop? I don't know. There's so much thing that they could do with this game.
Yep.
It's just like never ending.
It's recreated LA from 1947. So as everybody knows, if you read the history books, there was a lot of corruption going on, and that's why it's the perfect setting for the game.
There you go.
So LA Noire is coming. It'll be in all the Play and Trade stores on May 17th. Be sure, get out, pre-order it, get yourself a copy because this game
is there multiplayer? Do we know?
Don't know yet.
I don't know.
We'll see.
That would be cool if there was.
Yep.
See how they do that.
Well, guys, let's get ready here for our first break. And this week, we started last week with our fan commercials. And this week, this one's entitled PS3 Kids, and it's brought to us by Jacob Cool. And I got to first say, it is probably one of the most cinematic, coolest commercials that we've had to date. And again, if you guys are creating commercials out there for us, send them to play@pnttv.com. We want you guys to create commercials for our show, make them relevant to the gaming industry, make them be about what you're playing. And, you may see it here on a future episode of Play and Trade TV. So we'll be back right after this.